I know that my lighting is like totally weird and gnarly, but to be honest with you, I kind of like it this way because it kind of like makes me look all smooth. Anyway, hi. I just wanted to do a little update. This actually doesn't have anything to do with vegan products or makeup or sorry, let me try and like center that a little better and not knock everything off of my end table because I keep leaning against the wall and I kind of want to be as centered as I can. I actually want to talk about kind of like one of my things, which is stray dogs. I don't know what it is, but I seem to attract stray dogs. I don't mean like I walk down the street and I like put my hands out and they just all come like and no, that's not what I mean. I tend to encounter stray dogs quite a bit. More so than a lot of people I know. And it's kind of weird. I don't know if it's just because I'm more alert. For example, I'm a very alert driver. Like when I'm driving, my eyes are always sweeping like this, you know? And I think it's like because of that, I'm more apt to pick up movement and the animals and stuff like that. And of course I see animals, I'm like, oh, look at the pigeons. Oh, look at that. You know? So it's not really surprising that I notice all the animals all the time. But I do notice a lot of stray dogs. And, you know, a couple weeks ago I found one with a broken pelvis on the side of the road in Compton. And he's living with me right now until we get him all mended and in good shape, and then he needs a new home. So he's kind of a little bit of a handful because he's like an older puppy or a young adult, and like I'm not used to, nor am I ready to have a puppy. But I mean, I don't mind taking care of him, but I'm not in a good place right now for a puppy. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. A few days ago, actually the night before last, I was driving home from work, and I was driving downtown, and I noticed that the traffic on this particular street, which is like 4 lanes, it's like 2 lanes in either direction, the traffic was slowing down. I'm like, what? So I slowed down, and right in front of me, this little, like, gray and white mutt dog is, like, walking across the street, like, through traffic, looking scared and all disoriented, and he had, like, this Fu Manchu, and I was like, ugh. Right, so as soon as he gets to the curb, I, like, pass him, and I go down the first surface street, and I park, get out of my car, go on the sidewalk, and decide to engage him. Now, I do have some personal rules when it comes to dealing with stray dogs. I don't chase, especially not around traffic. And if the dog is aggressive, or growling or barking, not wanting to be approached, I don't press it. What I usually do is I just stop and I go, hey baby, hey baby, hey baby. And then I get down on the floor and hit the pavement. Sometimes I'll lay down or whatever, try and get myself down on the dog's level. And if they come over, I'll pet them, check them out for tags or at least a collar or something like that. Sometimes if they let me pick them up, I pick them up. If they're too big to pick up, then I somehow get them into my car. Otherwise, whatever. So anyway, this little dog, I get down, I go, hey baby, hey baby, and he comes over. Here I come! So I pick him up. He's a little guy. I don't think he weighed any more than maybe 10 pounds max. I'm kind of weak, so when people are like, oh, my dog only weighs 15 pounds, I'm like, oh, cool, and I pick him up, and then I'm all, oh, I appear to be really super weak in the arms, but what's this? I have noodle arms. Anyway, so this little dog is all, in my arms and stuff like that. I'm like, well, let's try and find your family, because he had a collar and a flea collar. The fuck? But no tags. So I started, I got him in my arms, and I was walking back in the direction from which I saw him come. And, along the way, I was asking people, whose dog this is, whose dog this is. So I'm walking down the street for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, this surface street, and I'm asking around, and this little girl comes up, and she goes, I know whose dog that is. that's our neighbor in front's dog. And she points, like, a couple, I guess she was, like, visiting her friend down the street. She points a couple buildings down to this White House. I go, excellent. So I go over to the White House, and I'm, like, holding the dog, and I'm like, yay, I just saved someone's pet. And I knock on the door, and this woman answers, and her little girl is standing next to her, and the little girl's crying. And I go, hi, is this your doggy? And the woman looks at me and says, not anymore. And I'm all, what? And she goes, yeah, I don't want him, you can have him, his name's Biscuit. We don't want him. And I was like, I just got him after he was crossing Anaheim. I was like, you don't want him? I'm just like, no. And I'm like, it was really hard for me because it was one of those things where, like, I really didn't want to berate the woman too much with her little girl right there, but, I had to, it's like you're setting a really good example for your daughter. I mean, you just, the second you don't want a living thing, you just kick him out to fend for himself. I mean, he could have gotten hit, or worse. He could have just gotten hit and then walked off and taken, like, 5 days to die in agony. This little life, he's not a thing, he's a who, And, the woman seemed pretty indifferent. I was pretty pissed off. So, I called animal control, and told them that I had a little stray. And since they're closed, in my city, they're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, so you have to go through, like, the fire department, and they route you, stuff. And they're like, well, we have to find, a field agent that works in the area, and they might be there as late as 8 o'clock. And this is, like, 5-something, and I'm like, alright. Well, to fast forward, I couldn't take the stray home. So I took him by my friend Jared's house, and Jared was kind enough to loan me, like, some water, and will give me some water. You don't really give borrowed water back for the dog. And long story short, one of Jared's neighbors actually decided to take the little dog, and so now he has a nice new little home, which was really great and rewarding. And I cried like an idiot because I cry all the time. But my problem is, and then I noticed, yesterday I didn't see any strays, and I came across 2 on my drive to work, but I couldn't catch either of them. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't understand people. And I also don't understand all these people standing on the side of the road and going about their business, and dogs just running in and out of traffic. It's like our society is so selfish. It's like, not my fault, not my problem, not my dog, I don't give a shit. And it's just like, it makes no sense to me. And so I'm just, like, trying to wonder if this is, like, some kind of calling for me, if I should be trying to do something more to save, or, like, help out our city's strays somehow. I don't know how I'd go about doing that. But I just wanted to kind of share you that little story, because there are a lot of, like, gloom and doom kind of stories, but this one has a little bit of a happy ending. So Biscuit has a new little family, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, like, I just don't understand people. It's like, whatever happened to responsibility? And one of my friends, I posted a picture of the little Biscuit, and one of my friends said, how is, like, abandoning him not a crime? And my reply was simply that as long as animals, cruelty statutes aside, animals are considered property under law. And as long as they are considered just property, as, like, just like my glasses, just like my phone, just like my dog. It's all the same under the law. And until that changes, it won't be illegal to discard them like property. So, I don't know what we need to do. We gotta get some shit up in Sacramento, gotta get some crap going on, I don't know, but we gotta change it. But I'm already over 9 minutes, so I am going to cut this, but I just wanted to share that little bit with you guys, and talk about stray dogs, because lately, that has kind of been, like, Becky's thing. So, I will catch you all later. Thank you very much for watching. Alrighty.